These are my viewers for my informative speech for my COMM 110 class. Have you ever turned on the shower faucet or the kitchen sink and wondered how the water just magically turned up at your faucet? Well, believe it or not, there's more than just turning on the sink. There is a long process that every drop of water goes through. It's called water purification. There are many different ways that water can be purified. Some use sedimentation and some use filtration. There are also many ways that water is disinfected so it's safe for us to consume. There is more to water than the average person realizes. According to a writer from healthguidance.org, his name is Jonathan Pitts, water purification is the process that people use all around the world to make water safe for the consumption of human beings. There are a few ways that water is purified. I'm going to name off two of them. First, some plants use sedimentation, which is very basic. Water goes into a large basin, and then the sedimentation, or the sediment, which are molecules that will settle to the bottom, and then there is a pump that pumps the sediment out of the tank, and then the water moves on to more processes. They also call the sedimentation basin a clarifier. Some of you might have heard of that, and some of you might not have. The second way that water is filtered is through membrane filtration. Membrane filtration is basically many layers of material with very small pores in it that allows water to go through, but doesn't allow larger molecules to go through that we call suspended solids. Something like a tree branch would probably be too big, but that's an example. There are many different membranes that people can use for water treatment. The three different types that I've found in an article written by Yaomin Yoon, a writer for iWaterWiki.org, which is a website dedicated to many different types of water purification. The membranes are nanofilters, ultrafilters, and microfilters. The first word, nano, ultra, and micro are the sizes, nano being the smallest, ultra being the middle, and micro being the biggest of them all. Also, along with membrane filtration, there is a thing called reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is used in conjunction with membrane filters because the membrane filters, they remove the suspended solids, where the reverse osmosis filters, they remove the dissolved solids, which are bacteria and the things that could be potentially poisonous to us if we drink it. According to information I found on WQA.org, which is known as the Water Quality Association, water is forced through a semi-permeable membrane, which allows water to pass through the membrane of the RO, but it doesn't allow any dissolved solids to go through, which are organisms, like I've said before. And it also helps to remove salts, which make the water hard. There's the last process that every water treatment plant uses is disinfection. There's many different chemicals that you can use. I'm going to say a couple chemicals that I have had experience with. There's chlorination, which is the use of chlorine in the water to kill organisms, so it makes it safe for us to drink. According to the Environmental Protection Agency website, we use chlorine to rid the water of poisonous organisms that may and are in the water. We do this to keep people safe. Chlorination is the most widely used disinfectant in the world. Some plants use a combination of things. I myself have worked in a water treatment plant for around about 2 years now. I just recently quit and moved on to a different place. But the plant I used to work at, we used a chemical called ozone, which was our primary disinfectant. We made that there in the plant using oxygen generators, and it is turned into ozone. Ozone is a very powerful oxidizing agent that effectively deactivates harmful waterborne infectants. In conjunction with the ozone, we also use chlorine as a backup, so to say. We need the chlorine to back up the ozone in case we are not feeding enough ozone to disinfect the water, just to make sure that it is safe for consumption of people. I hope now that I am concluding my speech that you all know a little bit more about how water is safe to drink. Things such as turning on your shower every day are taken for granted in today's world. It is nice to know a little bit more about water treatment so that we can all be thankful for today's technologies that allow us to take something like showering for granted. Here are my spectators again. These two too.